Welcome to the Windows Testnet workshop for renterd, where you can set up a Zen Testnet environment for hard forks, software development, and integrations within the SI ecosystem securely. First step to getting started is downloading the Zen Testnet binary by visiting the si.tech/rent download page. Select the Zen Testnet Windows AMD 64 option from the drop-down menu and hit the download button. This will download the zipped folder of the binaries on your machine. Locate the zipped folder and right-click Extract Tool, then select the destination to extract the files to and hit Extract. This will create a folder containing all the necessary files to run the Zen Testnet of renterd on your Windows operating system. We need to move the binary to an accessible location. Open the command prompt and make a directory named renterd_zen and press enter. Next, type move and press space. Return back to the extracted folder where renterd is and drag the binary into the command prompt, as it will provide the path of where it's located. Then press space and append the name of the newly created directory. Press enter, and now we've moved the binary to the new directory. We can cd into the directory for the next steps. Before running the Zen Testnet for renterd, we need to generate a 12-word recovery phrase, also known as the seed. This holds the key to your Zen SI coin balance. Type renterd seed to generate your recovery phrase and copy it from the command prompt. This next step is very user-friendly, allowing you to run renterd without having to provide an API password and your recovery phrase every time. Create a YAML file by typing notepad space then renterd.yml and press enter, and press yes to create the new file. The notepad will open where you will input your seed, which is the recovery phrase, a password of your choice, and set the autopilot to 5 minutes for automated host selection, contract management, and file repair. Also note that the indentations are spaces and not tabbed, so make sure to copy the structure correctly, then save and close the window. You're now ready to run renterd. Type renterd in your command prompt and press enter. The Zen Testnet for renterd is now running, and you can access the UI via the local host with the provided URL link. Copy and paste the link into your browser and you'll be directed to the renterd login page. Enter your created password to access the full user interface. You can always check you're on the Zen Testnet for renterd with this notification at the top of the page, but also hovering over the SI logo in the corner. The blockchain will take a few minutes to sync, so make sure you check the progress to ensure everything's up to date when using the Zen Testnet. By going to the configuration page and switching to advanced, we can adjust renterd to allow for forming contracts and uploading files. By firstly setting the expected storage, expected upload, and expected download to 1 TB. The allowance to 10,000 SI coins. The period to 6 weeks. Renew window of 2 weeks, the number of hosts of 20, the contract set to autopilot, and for the moment we can leave the prune sector routes off. Under pricing, we can set the max storage price of 1,000 SI coins. The max upload price of 500 SI coin. Next, the max download price of 5,000 SI coin. The max contract price of 1 SI coin. The max RPC to 10. The min and max collateral is going to be 10 SI coin. A block height leeway of 6, a min price table validity of 5, a min account expiry date of 1, the min max ephemeral account balance of 1 SI coin. And we can leave the migration surcharge multiplier at 10. Under the host section, make sure you enable the redundant IPs by toggling the switch on to allow for forming contracts with multiple hosts in the same IP subnet and allowing the use of both IPv4 and IPv6. Then set the max downtime to 1,440 hours and the min scan failures to 10. Under wallet, set the defrag threshold to 1,000. Under contract, set the default contract set to autopilot. And leave upload packing toggled on. Under the redundancy section, we recommend setting the min shards to 2 and the total shards to 6. Remember to save these changes. After saving changes in the configuration section of renterd, it will take a little bit of time for the contracts to form, but you can always go to the contracts page to check whether there's any active contracts so that you're ready to begin renting. Now it's time to fund your Zen Testnet renterd wallet with Psy coins via the faucet. Visit zen.sciscan.com/faucet. But first, return back to the renterd UI to retrieve your wallet address. You can copy and paste your wallet address by clicking the wallet icon on the sidebar and copying the address. Paste this into the faucet's address field along with the desired amount of Psy coins. We recommend a minimum of 10,000 Psy coins as it's sufficient funds to carry out renting activities. Then click Fund Wallet to initiate the transfer to that address. You can see the transaction is pending and you'll have to wait a few minutes for it to be confirmed. Once the transaction has completed, you'll be given a transaction ID and can check it matches the ID you can see on the wallet page in the renterd UI. By clicking the transaction ID, it will open up a JSON format of the full details of the transaction. Now that your wallet is funded and renterd is set up correctly, you can test uploading a file by simply clicking the Files tab from the sidebar, then clicking Default, then dragging a file in. You'll get a notification that the upload has completed. Our renterd API docs are also available for use on the Zen Testnet. The renterd API is structured around 3 core components, which are the bus, the workers, and autopilot. These components can function either within a unified process or a distributed microservice cluster. We have designed a cutting-edge API for rental services that deliver both power and performance. You can create contracts, transfer data, and manage your files using the clean and consistent JSON speaking endpoints. We've made it very simple to run and import the renterd API into Postman with both the preloaded environment and the collection of endpoints for you to test. Before attempting to use the renterd API endpoints, you must ensure that the environment is set up correctly. Go to the environment section of the sidebar and open up docs. You'll see a table of variables with their assigned values. In the top right dropdown, change the environment to docs. Now begin making the necessary changes to the table by putting your actual API password in the first column, the same used to log into the UI. The next 3 columns are very specific to the URL used to access the renterd UI, so instead of localhost with the port 9980, change all to 127.0.0.1 with the port 9980. Also, don't forget to save your changes. In the Collections tab, you can see a list of renterd API endpoints. There are loads to choose from, but we can test one of them with the Zen Testnet we have currently running. Good one to test is a GET request to retrieve our wallet address. Double click on it to open up a tab where you can execute the call. The query already looks for the variables and its assigned values from the environment, then appends the GET request to look for the wallet and produce its address. Press send and we get a 202 status code along with the response body showing the wallet address. You can always check the validity of the response by comparing it to see what you see from the API to what you see within the UI. The renterd API is very helpful in showing examples of requests and the responses, so you always know what to expect when you run any query. If you have any questions or require any assistance when utilizing either the Zen Testnet or the API, feel free to reach out to us on Discord using the link provided on the screen. And that's a wrap. Thank you for watching the Windows Testnet workshop for renterd.